there's a lot of stocks out there that allow you to buy the stock directly from the company rather than going through a broker. Not that there's anything wrong with using a broker, but for many of you, your first investment in a stock might be $200, $300, $500, something like that. And going to a broker is expensive for a small investment like that. And it makes sense to go ahead and use what are called these direct purchase programs. Direct purchase programs. They're really a great resource because you're not buying the stock from the company, you're buying it through the company and what they refer to as a direct purchase program. There's about I would guess 500 companies out there that have these direct purchase programs. And you can find it, you can go to, most large companies have direct purchase programs. You go to their website, look for an area called Investor Relations, and you'll see information about how you can, in most cases, buy the stock directly. Here's what I like about this, okay? Again, you start with a small amount of money. Everyone's a little bit different, but you'll find a way to, they'll explain that to you. Number two, you can set up a program where you can automatically invest through a direct purchase program where they would debit your bank account, your credit union account, whatever amount you would like them to do every month, $50, $100, whatever the case may be. And you can reinvest all the dividends as well. You can get that compounding thing going on. Albert Einstein called compounding the eighth wonder of the world, and it truly is. So that's a very important thing to do. So you've got a great way to set up an automatic system that just really will pay off handsomely long-term over the years. And as I say, there's quite a few companies that allow you to do this now. And for me, that's the way I buy 95% of the stocks that I own is through a direct purchase program. It makes an awful lot of sense. And again, look for stocks that pay dividends. I'm a big fan of dividend-paying stocks, especially in a volatile marketplace like we've had as of late. Dividend-paying stocks can really give you that cushion in a time when the markets are going down and can serve as an accelerator when the markets are going up. There's a group of stocks I like in the dividend arena that are called the dividend aristocrats. Dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have not only paid a dividend for at least 25 years in a row, but have increased the dividend every year for at least 25 years in a row. Only about 50 companies qualify as dividend aristocrats, so it's a pretty elite group. I'll tell you one of them and a story about one of them, and that's Coca-Cola. Warren Buffett is the largest shareholder in Coca-Cola. Okay? Warren Buffett's a pretty savvy investor, knows his stuff. And he's been buying that stock for some time over the years. And I don't have the exact numbers here, but you can go to the Warren Buffett's company is Berkshire Hathaway, and you can go to the website and read his annual letter to shareholders. That's better than any book you would ever buy is to go to that website, Berkshire Hathaway, and read the annual letter that he sends to shareholders. Last year he talked about Coca-Cola stock. And I really do believe it's the favorite stock of his that he owns, the favorite company that he owns. If you go online and look for pictures of Warren Buffett, almost every picture he will have a Coke in his hand. Okay, he is rarely without a Coca-Cola. Okay, so he talked about this and he said over the years we've invested. He said we finished our investment phase with Coca-Cola about 2 or 3 years ago. And over that period of time, we've invested $600 million into the company. I'm just a random number this. He says by the year 2015, which is only a few years to go, every year we will be paid a dividend equal to the amount of money we've invested in the company. He'll be getting $600 million a year in dividends on an investment of $600 million. Now, I'm not a whiz at math, but that works out to about 100% return a year just in dividends, okay? Now, you all are young enough that you can do that. You can pick a company, and I'm not saying you do it with Coca-Cola, but you can do that with a company, get it started now, and see that income grow year after year after year to the point where you would be like Buffett is. You'd be getting a return of your money every year equal to what you invested. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to work out with every company, but it's very, very doable. And it probably would, with Buffett, it probably took about 20 years to get to that point, maybe 25 years. You're all going to be young still when you get to that point, okay? You should really be taking advantage of that compounding effect that you get with dividends, because they grow. You look at a company like Coca-Cola, and I would guess if somebody went online and looked at Coca-Cola stock right now, the yield on it's probably 2.25%, 2.5%, maybe, something like that. It doesn't seem that great, but it is, okay? But if every year they raise that dividend, your rate of return keeps growing as well. So I really do preach a lot about dividend-paying stocks, but I think that they are kind of a no-brainer, and a lot of the people on Wall Street, a lot of types like that, are looking very carefully and suggesting dividend-paying stocks. So do your homework on that. There's a lot of great information online about dividend-paying stocks. I think they're really very, very good.